I never imagined my life would come crashing down over something as simple as a phone call. But that's exactly how it happened. Lauren and I had been together for 11 years. In my mind, we had a solid marriage, built on trust, love, and understanding. We weren't perfect, but who is? We had a beautiful home, a stable life, and a future I believed was secure. And yet, in just one evening, everything I thought I knew was ripped away from me. The warning signs had been there, but I ignored them. Maybe it was denial, maybe it was trust, or maybe I just didn't want to believe the woman I had devoted my life to was capable of betrayal. But deep down, I had felt something shift months ago. She started working late more often. First once a week, then twice, and soon almost every night. When I asked about it, she laughed it off, made some excuse about deadlines and extra projects. It was reasonable, so I believed her. Then came the subtle changes. Her phone was always on silent, always face down, always within reach. She received texts that made her smile, but she never shared what they were. She started dressing up more, wearing expensive perfume, buying new lingerie. I should have seen it. I should have connected the dots. But nothing could have prepared me for the night I got that call. Lauren had told me she was meeting friends for dinner. Girls' night. She kissed me goodbye, told me not to wait up, and left. I didn't think much of it. A few hours later, I was flipping through channels, barely paying attention to the TV when my phone rang. An unknown number. I hesitated, almost didn't answer. But something in my gut told me to pick up. Hello. Silence. Then, a man's voice, slow, almost amused. Hey man, I thought you should know. Your wife isn't at a girls' night. I felt my entire body go still, my grip tightening on the phone. Who is this? I demanded. You don't know me, the voice continued, but I know Lauren. I see her. Right now, actually. She's at a restaurant, having a romantic dinner, and it's not with you. A sharp ringing filled my ears. My chest tightened. I don't believe you, I said, but my voice lacked conviction. She's wearing a black dress, red lipstick, sitting across from a guy in a blue shirt. They just ordered wine. My breath caught in my throat. That's exactly what Lauren had been wearing when she left. My hands trembled. My mind raced. I wanted to storm into that restaurant, flip the tables, scream, demand answers. But I didn't. Something inside me stopped me. Instead, I stood up, grabbed my keys, and walked out the door. But I didn't go to the restaurant. I drove to the hardware store. By the time she called me, confused, I was already done changing the locks. I finally answered. Hey, she said, her voice casual, like nothing was wrong. Why aren't you picking up my texts? I glanced at my phone. 3 unread messages. Lauren. Hey, I'm heading home soon. Lauren. Are you still up? Lauren. Why aren't you answering? I took a slow breath, gripping the phone tighter. Don't bother coming home. A long silence stretched between us. What? She finally said, a small laugh escaping. That's not funny. I'm not joking. Her tone shifted instantly. Gone was the casual, teasing wife. In her place, something sharper, more defensive. What the hell does that mean? It means, I said, leaning against the kitchen counter, I know exactly where you are, and who you're with. Another pause. Then, I don't know what you're talking about. I let out a humorless laugh. Come on, Lauren. You can do better than that. Listen, She started, but I cut her off. You're at dinner, in a black dress, with some guy in a blue shirt. You ordered wine. Did I miss anything? Silence. Heavy. Tense. I could feel the panic creeping into her voice as she scrambled for a way out. Who told you that? She finally asked. Quieter now. I smiled bitterly. Oh, so you're not denying it? Just curious who ratted you out. She exhaled sharply. This isn't funny. Okay? I don't know who's feeding you lies. But I was with my friends. Clicked my tongue. Don't. Just don't. She hesitated. Babe, listen. I changed the locks. Her breath hitched. Wait, what? You heard me. I changed the locks. Don't bother coming home. You don't live here anymore. Then came the screaming, the name-calling, the accusations of overreacting, the threats. "I'll call the police," she shrieked. "You can't just throw me out. This is my house too." "Actually," I said calmly, "it's not. My name is the only one on the mortgage. You moved in after we got married, remember? Which means legally you're a guest. And I just rescinded your invitation." She gasped like I had slapped her. "You can't be serious." "Oh, I'm dead serious." Then came the bargaining, the desperation. "Babe, please, let's just talk. Okay? I can explain." I laughed. "No, Lauren, you can't. And even if you could, I wouldn't listen." More silence. In the background, I could hear muffled voices. Her lover must have been sitting right there, watching this unfold. I wondered what he was thinking. Did he realize the woman he was dining with had just lost everything? Then her final desperate card. "I have nowhere to go," she whispered. A few hours ago those words might have worked. I might have softened, thought about all our years together, the love we once shared, but not anymore. Clenched my jaw. Not my problem. And then I hung up. She called again, and again, and again. Each time I let it ring. Eventually the calls stopped. I turned off my phone and sat there in the quiet house. The house that was mine again. It was over. Or so I thought. Because Lauren wasn't the type to accept defeat easily. And this was only the beginning. No messages. After all her screaming and panicking, Lauren had finally stopped trying to reach me. But I knew it wasn't over. Not by a long shot. I wasn't naive enough to think she would just accept what happened and move on. No, Lauren was a fighter. Just not in the way that meant fighting for our marriage. She was the type to fight against any consequence that didn't benefit her. And I was about to see just how far she was willing to go. The first attempt, it was close to midnight when I heard it. A car pulling up in the driveway. Then, footsteps. Slow. Hesitant. Then, the rattle of the doorknob. I didn't even bother standing up. I just smirked to myself, waiting for it. A few seconds later, bang. Fists pounding against the door. "Open the door, Jason." There it was. Lauren's voice. Raw with rage. No more fake sweetness. No more manipulation. Just pure, unfiltered anger. I stayed silent, just listening. "I swear to God, Jason, you can't do this. I have nowhere to go," she yelled. Then, after a moment, her voice dropped into something more desperate. "Babe, please, just let me in so we can talk." I almost laughed. The shift from fury to pleading was so predictable. But I wasn't falling for it. "I already told you," I said loud enough for her to hear. "You don't live here anymore." Silence. Then, "You're being ridiculous," she spat. "This isn't just your house. I have rights." "Actually," I said, standing up now, walking toward the door, "you don't." I pulled out my phone and opened my security. A live feed popped up, showing Lauren standing on my porch. Arms crossed, her face twisted in frustration. "You're trespassing, Lauren," I said calmly. "Leave now or I'll have to call the police." That hit a nerve. Her face contorted with fury. She let out a bitter laugh. "Oh please, you wouldn't do that to me." I hovered my thumb over the emergency call button. "Try me." For a moment, she just stood there, breathing heavily. Then, without another word, she stormed off. I watched as she climbed into her car, slammed the door, and sped off into the night. I should have felt relief. But instead I just felt tense, because I knew that wasn't the end of it. Lauren didn't give up. She regrouped, and sure enough she had more tricks up her sleeve. The second attempt the next morning. I woke up to the sound of my phone buzzing. I groggily reached for it, expecting another call from Lauren, but when I looked at the screen, I froze. 20 missed calls, 10 new voicemails, messages from mutual friends, and the first text I saw made my stomach drop. "Dude, Lauren's telling everyone you kicked her out and took all her stuff. What's going on?" Of course she would try to twist the story. I scrolled through the messages. Some were from friends we hadn't talked to in years, suddenly concerned about how heartless I was. Others were from family members, asking if everything was okay. And then, there were Lauren's messages. "Lauren, you are ruining my life. Lauren, how could you do this to me after everything? Lauren, everyone knows what you did." You're going to regret this. Lauren, answer me, Jason. She was trying to control the narrative, to turn herself into the victim. I sighed, rubbing my temples. I could already see the fallout. Friends picking sides, family members reaching out, people making assumptions. And Lauren, she wasn't done yet, because while I was dealing with the social blowback, she was planning her next move, and it was about to get way worse. By noon, my phone was still buzzing nonstop. Mutual friends, coworkers, even some distant relatives. Everyone had something to say. I barely had the energy to check the messages. But when I did, I realized the situation was worse than I thought. Lauren wasn't just playing the victim. She was making me out to be the villain. I can't believe you'd throw her out like that. She loved you, man. Why didn't you try to work things out first? Kicking her out was extreme. Lauren said you've been distant for months. Maybe she made a mistake. But you didn't have to humiliate her. Humiliate her? I nearly laughed. She was the one sneaking around behind my back, lying to my face. And yet, somehow, I was the bad guy for not politely accepting the betrayal. It wasn't just texts either. Someone, probably Lauren, had posted about it online. A long, dramatic message about how her cold and heartless husband had changed the locks and left her homeless without a word, how she had made one mistake and was kicked to the curb like trash. Of course, she left out the part about her ongoing affair. I stared at the post, feeling a slow burn of frustration build in my chest. I could already see people eating it up. Comments flooded in, most of them blindly sympathizing with her. Some were even calling me controlling, saying I trapped her in a marriage she clearly wanted out of. It was insane, and it got worse. The unexpected visitor around 3 p.m. There was a knock at my door. I hesitated. After last night, I wasn't expecting company. I checked the security camera, half expecting Lauren to be standing there again. It wasn't her. It was her sister, Megan. That was unexpected. Megan and I had always been civil, but we were never close. So seeing her on my porch, arms crossed, lips pressed into a thin line, set off alarms in my head. I opened the door, leaning against the frame. Megan. She gave me a look that could cut through steel. What the hell is wrong with you? I sighed. Already exhausted. You're going to have to be more specific. Are you seriously locking my sister out of her own home? She snapped. She called me last night, sobbing, saying you wouldn't even talk to her. Is that true? I rubbed my temples. Megan, did she tell you why? She scoffed. She told me you had a fight, but kicking her out, that's insane, Jason. I let out a humorless laugh. A fight? That's what she called it. Megan's frown deepened. Jason, whatever happened, it can be fixed. You guys have been together for over a decade. Don't throw that away over one bad night. I felt something in me snap. I took a step forward, lowering my voice. Let me be very clear, Megan. Lauren didn't just make a mistake. She didn't have one bad night. She's been lying to me for months. Megan blinked, caught off guard. That's not what she said. Of course it's not. Megan hesitated but nodded. I'll talk to her. I didn't bother responding. I just closed the door. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong, because Lauren wasn't going to stop. Lauren wasn't the type to accept defeat. And sure enough, my doorbell rang. I sighed, already bracing for another dramatic stunt. But when I checked the security camera, my stomach clenched. It wasn't Lauren. It was a lawyer. The ultimatum. I opened the door, keeping my expression neutral. Jason, right? The man adjusted his glasses. That's me, I said, crossing my arms. He handed me an envelope. You've been served. My blood went cold. I took the papers, scanning the first page. A formal demand for re-entry. Lauren had gone nuclear. She wasn't just trying to guilt-trip me anymore. She was threatening legal action to force her way back into the house. I clenched my jaw. This is ridiculous. The lawyer's face remained impassive. My client claims she was wrongfully locked out of her marital home. She has the right to access her belongings. I scoffed. Her belongings? She left with nothing because she was at dinner with her boyfriend. The lawyer didn't flinch. She's willing to settle this without escalation. But she will escalate if necessary. I exhaled sharply. Tell her she can pick up her stuff. But she's not living here anymore. He nodded. Then I suggest you prepare for a legal dispute. I watched him walk away, my pulse pounding. This wasn't just about getting her things. Lauren wanted control. The plan. I wasted no time. I called my lawyer, laying out the situation. Can she force her way back in? Asked. Not without a court order, he reassured me. But don't take this lightly. She might claim spousal residency rights. The phrase made my stomach turn. Even though her name wasn't on the mortgage, she could still argue she had a legal right to live there. I needed to act fast. I called a locksmith, ensuring every lock was reinforced. Then I started gathering every piece of evidence I had. Texts, photos, call logs from the mystery informant. If Lauren wanted to play dirty, I was ready. But I knew this wasn't over. Lauren wasn't just after the house. She wanted to destroy me, and she was about to make her next move. The ambush. The next morning, my phone erupted with notifications. Calls, messages, and one alarming text from a coworker. Dude, check Facebook now. My stomach sank as I opened the app. There it was. Lauren had gone public. She had posted a long, dramatic story about how she had been thrown out of her home, with nowhere to go by her controlling, manipulative husband. She painted herself as the victim. A devoted wife abandoned and humiliated by the man she had loved for years. And people believed her. Hundreds of comments poured in, offering sympathy. Friends, acquaintances, even some of my own family had taken her side. How could he do this? Lauren, stay strong. No woman deserves this. This is disgusting. I hope you get everything in the divorce. That last comment made me pause. Divorce? Lauren hadn't even mentioned divorce to me yet. But now she was fueling the idea publicly. And worse, she had tagged my job. Her post ended with a final dagger. And after everything, he's still pretending like nothing happened. Jason, you may have locked me out of the house, but you can't lock me out of my life. Everyone will see the real you now. My fingers tightened around my phone. This wasn't just revenge. Lauren wanted to ruin me. Damage control. I knew better than to engage in a public battle. That's what she wanted. If I responded, I'd become the villain she was painting me as. So I took a different approach. I made 2 calls. First, to my lawyer. Lauren's slandering me online. Do I have legal grounds? You do, he said. But responding publicly will only make things worse. Stay silent. Let her burn herself out. Next, I called her sister, Megan. The second she picked up, I asked, you seen this? Megan sighed. Yeah. She's spiraling. Can you talk to her? Get her to take it down? I'll try, she said. But Jason, she's not thinking rationally. She's lashing out because she knows she lost. I exhaled. She was right. Lauren wasn't fighting for our marriage or even the house. She was fighting because she hated losing. The last straw. That evening, an unknown number called. I almost ignored it, but something told me to pick up. Jason, right? Yes. Who's this? Pause. Then, I'm the guy who called you the other night. My breath caught. The informant. I hadn't expected to hear from him again. I have something you need to see, he said. Something that proves she's been lying about everything. What is it? I asked cautiously. I'll send it to your email. But be ready, man. This changes everything. My pulse quickened. What do you mean? She's not just playing the victim, he said darkly. She's been planning this for months. The call ended. Seconds later, an email notification popped up. I opened it, and what I saw made my blood run cold. Lauren hadn't just been cheating. She had been plotting to leave me for him, but only after securing as much money and assets as possible. She never expected to get caught, and now that she had, she was flipping the script. I clicked on the first screenshot. Lauren, he has no idea. I'll keep playing the devoted wife until the house is in my name. AP? Smart. You deserve half of everything. More honestly, Lauren. Once I have what I need, I'll file and walk away clean. You won't see it coming. My hands clenched into fists. She hadn't just betrayed me. She had orchestrated it. Every move was calculated, and she was furious that I had caught her first. I scrolled further, my stomach twisting as I read more. Lauren, I'll make him look like the bad guy. If he tries anything, I'll say he was abusive. That'll work. People always side with the woman. Lauren, exactly. I can get sympathy, maybe even some extra cash out of him. I shut my laptop, my breathing uneven. This wasn't just a betrayal. This was war. So that was her endgame. She hadn't gone public because she was hurt. She hadn't done it because she wanted to come home. She had done it to set me up. This wasn't a messy breakup. This was war. The confrontation, I didn't hesitate. I picked up my phone and called her. She answered immediately. Oh, now you decide to talk? Cut the crap, I said coldly. I know everything. She scoffed. Oh, do you? What? Did one of your little friends tell you another story? No, I opened my laptop again. Scrolling through the evidence. I have the receipts, Lauren. Every text. Every plan. Every lie you told. Silence. Then a forced laugh. I don't know what you're talking about. I chuckled. You really think you can gaslight me? I have proof that you were planning to screw me over long before I changed the locks. That's ridiculous. Shut up. My voice was dangerously calm. I have the messages, Lauren. The ones where you talk about faking abuse. The ones where you brag about how I wouldn't see it coming. Another beat of silence. Then, for the first time, her voice cracked. Who sent them to you? That's when I knew. She wasn't denying it anymore. She just wanted to know who betrayed her. I smirked. Wouldn't you like to know? Her breath hitched. Jason, I can explain. No, you can't, I interrupted. And I don't care. I let that sink in before continuing. My voice steady. You've already lost, Lauren. I'm gonna post these myself. I'm gonna show everyone what really happened. She gasped. No, you can't. I leaned back, satisfied at the panic in her voice. Why not? You didn't have a problem smearing my name. But now that I have the truth, you're scared. Jason, please, she pleaded, her voice trembling. If you do this, I'll have nothing. I smiled bitterly. That's not my problem. And with that, I hung up. The fallout an hour later. I posted the screenshots. No captions. No explanations. Just the truth. The reaction was immediate. People who had defended Lauren turned on her instantly. Holy sh*T. She was playing the long game. Dude, I'm sorry. I believed her at first. I feel sick. She was literally planning to ruin your life. Lauren tried to do damage control, but it was too late. Within hours, she disappeared from social media. The phone calls stopped. The texts from mutual friends dried up. Even her own sister texted me. Megan. She deserves everything coming to her. I'm so sorry, Jason. Lauren had tried to burn my life down. But in the end, she was the one left in ashes. And for the first time in months, maybe even years, I felt truly free. Lauren had always been a storm in my life. At first, it was exciting, passionate. She made me believe in something that wasn't real. But in the end, she was nothing more than a manipulative liar who had been playing the long game. And now she had nothing left. Her final desperate move 2 days later. I got one last message from her. Lauren, Jason, please, can we talk? I stared at the screen. After everything, she still thought she could weasel her way back in? She didn't apologize. She didn't even acknowledge what she had done. She just wanted another shot at manipulating me. I didn't reply. Instead, I blocked her number, her email, every possible way she could reach me, because I didn't need to hear another excuse. I had wasted enough time on her. Moving on, I spent the next few weeks putting my life back together. I changed my routines, focused on my work, and reconnected with old friends, the ones who had believed in me from the start. And Lauren, I heard bits and pieces. Her affair partner, the guy she risked everything for, dumped her. Turns out he didn't want a relationship. He just enjoyed the thrill of sneaking around. And once the thrill was gone, so was he. Lauren had burned every bridge. She had lost the house, her reputation, and now even the guy she cheated with. And me? I walked away with my dignity intact. Lauren always thought she was the smartest person in the room. She thought she could control everything. But in the end, she lost the one thing she never expected to lose: me. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.